I actually feel a one-woman show coming on. And I'm not here to ask you how I start that.
Well, you've already started it.
Okay.
You've already started it, and there's a vortex version of it already.
Right.
And so what you want to do is be new in relationship with this idea, because the idea came and it felt scary, and then the idea evolved a little bit, and then it got more interesting, but then you got more in your head about how to make it happen, and then you started trying to make some things happen that didn't turn quite the way you wanted them to, and then you started to feel discouraged. And so you've had a lot of vibrational states of beings that have led you to a stronger and stronger and stronger desire. And so let's approach it in a new way. So let's play with that feeling of closing a loop, and closing a loop while another one opens, and closing a loop while another. So can you tell us on this subject what a loop that has closed? In other words, it's not a thing for you anymore. Done.
I know I'm going to do it, and I know I'm going to be back on stage.
So
there's no fear anymore.
So the loop that's closed is being off stage.
Yes.
But you can talk about that just a little bit. In other words, why off stage? Why were you off stage? Why were you off stage?
It doesn't matter.
Well, it might help.
Oh.
It might help in the opening of a new loop. This is what we're wanting to help you to understand. It's just fine to use the resistance of contrast in order to promote the new muscle, so to speak.
Oh.
So close that loop a little bit for us.
Okay. So in the past, I might have been concerned what people would think about me being on stage doing a one-woman show.
Have you ever done it?
I've been with an ensemble, and I've been in front performing. But not by myself completely.
So why is that loop closing? Why no more ensemble? Why no longer being on?
Because I think I have a lot inside of me that can come out.
We think so too, but close that loop for us.
Close that loop, okay. I feel more authentic when I'm on my own.
So now we're really not taking you backwards. It might sound like it a little bit, but so closing the loop of having to get along with others, closing the loop of collaboration, closing the loop of trying to drag people along that aren't vibrationally up to speed with the ideas,
right.
Closing the loop of that not so much freedom, sort of closing that loop. In other words, done, not done, but done.
Yeah.
Happily done.
Yeah.
When is enough?
Yeah.
Done. Done
yes,
with that.
Yes.
Done with that. Done with that, and the new loop opens. Now, talk to us about that. I'm good at this.
I am. I love doing it. I feel so turned on. I feel so energized. I feel tingles in my body. It's like...
So this is calibrating to that. In other words, all through everything that you've lived, you've put that into your vortex.
Yes.
You did step one over and over and over and over again. And
yes.
Step two has been in place. In other words, the cooperative components are already gathered. So what you're doing right now is calibrating to that. You're not just pointing at it, you're pointing at it with no resistance.
I feel certain.
When that's what's dominant in your bag of marbles, so to speak, then things start showing up.
Yes, they do.
Ideas start coming. And so this is the part that we really want you to hear. We want you to love being in the open loop on your way to a manifestation. We want you to love this phase of recognizing and feeling and ideas coming. And in other words, that's what creators do. They keep sculpting and they keep painting and they keep feeling. And so, but what trips it up is trying to force the manifestation, because until the manifestation comes, I haven't succeeded. And that's the point that we're making here. There's a whole lot of success in this open loop. It's success because it feels good. It's success because it's interesting. It's success because you're on fire with it. It's success because you're happy about it. It's success because the ideas are flowing. In other words, all that perception that we were talking about in the last conversation, that's delicious stuff. You're just keep milking that, and then the connecting of the dots will become more vivid. And it won't even surprise you when somebody says, hey, what do you think about this? Yes. See, there's a thing that humans often misunderstand. When we say point at it, we were just doing some good pointing with you. When we say point at it and don't point in opposition, and universal forces will take care of it. The cooperative components will be gathered, and guess what? You'll be one of them. You'll be a cooperative component to your own desire. But what happens sometimes, pretty often, almost every time, with some people, almost everybody, is that because you're action oriented, you want to jump into some sort of action that you're not ready to jump into, and then you introduce hesitation or contradiction that feels like hesitation into the equation, and it slows the whole thing down, and then you either get tired of it or you get more and more worried. Whereas as you are enjoying the pointing and then enjoying this is the thing, we want to find a way for you to visualize and or feel these thoughts turning to things. In other words, because it is real and it is happening. It's that earlier question about that was so wonderful, because it's not hard to imagine the parts in the warehouse going to the delivery line. It's not hard to envision that, but it is hard to envision what happens before that. You don't have to. If you can know that thoughts are turning to things, and that you're pointing at what you want and pointing at what you want, and it's helpful to talk about why you want it if it feels good, then you don't have to stay at it very long before meaningful things unfold that let you know that it is unfolding. And this is the part we want you to hear, and we want you to experience, and we want you to enjoy, all of you. We want that to be a fun phase. You all are really liking it when it bursts into manifestation, and we get that. But unless you're enjoying the other of it too, it never gets to that. You head it off with your impatience, with your questioning why it hasn't come, or by your listening to other people who don't know what they're talking about because they don't have anything to do with your bag of marbles, with your point of attraction.
You saying that has just reminded me that I always, this is the first time I've shared this idea with anyone except for my coach. And I haven't shared it with any personal friends or family. Now I guess it doesn't matter.
All that's irrelevant.
It's completely irrelevant.
Close the loop. But let's do something else that's helpful right now. So let's find some easy existing matches. In other words, you see, your bag of marbles is your point of attraction. And that's standing right there with you. Right there with you. So how you feel is how you feel, and how you feel is what you get. And so if you can do something about how you feel. So our friend introduced a phrase that we like so much, next logical step, next logical step. So let's find some easy existing matches, and let's activate them on purpose in your bag of marbles, and let's stay with it long enough. Let's see if we can get some momentum going until you feel your point of attraction has definitely shifted. So give us some, it'll be easy for you, easy existing matches about this that you want to do.
I'm already on stage right in this moment. I'm feeling completely authentic. This is me right now. And
they're calling already.
Exactly, it's my agent. my agent.
Your inner being is your agent.
True. Oh my gosh, yes.
Your inner being knows who you are and knows what you want and knows who's ready for you and is gathering the cooperative components. So your finding easy existing matches is your way of calibrating your frequency to that vortex version, so that picture this. When you ask your inner being heard and focused without caution or warning or worry on it, and the powerful law of attraction responding to both aspects of you, responding to that pure vibration that your inner being is promoting on your behalf. So there is already a culmination of rendezvous already lined up, interviews, opportunities are already lined up. They're well, I can't see them. That's irrelevant. They exist. What matters is that you focus in a way that you can feel that. So, and that's what you were just doing. You were calibrating to that. You were becoming a cooperative component to that. So this is what we want you to visualize. So you ask, it happened, it's done. Now you are making your way to that. It's already, you're making your way to that. You're no longer running away from it with thoughts that feel like doubt, or with memories of the past, or with anybody else's opinion about anything. You're finding easy existing matches, and that's all you got to do. So it helps to trust the process, that you put it there and that it's real and it is there. And that even though you can't yet see it or hear it or smell it or taste it or touch it, you can find and feel the frequency of it. And then as you playfully open another loop and feel your way to it, until this loop feels so good that it doesn't even matter if it manifests. Hear that? You don't need it to manifest to feel good. You see, you want it to manifest so that you'll feel good, but you don't need it to manifest to feel good, because you can feel good as you move it along, and as you move it along, as you calibrate yourself to be a cooperative component, it's done.
And as long as I'm feeling good right now in this moment,
that's all you got.
Right.
You can't emit tomorrow, today, and you can't have missed an opportunity to emit from yesterday. Nothing matters except right now. And right now, all that matters is the relationship between what you're doing with your point of attraction and what your inner being is doing with your point of attraction. That's the only thing that's relevant.
So we attracted that phone ringing.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. In other words, it fit right in.
Yes, it did.
Fit right in.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it happens. And so many more things begin to happen. Things that, because you've spent this much time focusing upon it, you don't miss it. Or when it happens, you don't call it chance, or that's just silly, or I'm making too much of it, because you stayed there long enough, got your own momentum going, and then you can feel when, if, and they are, if, and they are, if, when, and they are, if thoughts are turning to things, and you are watching them turning to things, don't you think you'll reach the point where you'll feel certain? It's like you're on a journey, you're in your car, you're going someplace, it's 500 miles. You don't stop every mile and cry that you're not there. You don't get so disoriented that you go the other direction by accident. In other words, there's some satisfaction in knowing that you're making progress. And there's satisfaction in finding the feeling place. In fact, satisfaction comes from only one place: having a desire and moving in the direction of it. So as you find thoughts that feel satisfying in this open loop pre-manifestation, the manifestation is a done deal. It cannot be denied. It cannot be denied.